Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's the day. It's episode 9 of Arcane. It's bittersweet. Like, I'm happy to be here. I'm so excited to watch it, but I'm so very scared of what this episode could possibly mean for the future, not only of the show, but of some of my favorite characters. I want to start this off by saying I missed it. I'm so sorry I missed it. Even when I was editing, I still missed it. I saw the monkey in the mirror in the steam, the you know what I'm talking about. And I was so convinced I was going to see Kate get blown up that I wasn't paying attention to anything else. And then I hear her catch her breath and then fade to black. And I was like, what happened? Like, I was totally expecting her to get blown up. Um, but then, even while I'm editing, because I crop the actual video, I still didn't see Jinx. There she was, just just right there. I missed it, and I went back and watched it, and I was like, well, that was actually really obvious, and I feel really silly that I missed it. But thank you guys for everyone who was pointing that out. I appreciate you, and yeah, I feel really silly. That was a big whoops. That was a I normally don't miss things like that, but I was convinced Kate was dead. So my mind was elsewhere. I wasn't sure that Jinx even really knew who Kate was. Like, does she know that Kate's a Karaman? And does she, I mean, obviously it would be easier for her to find the Karamans if she knew that information, but I don't know if we knew that Kate was a Karaman. I know Marcus had mentioned it, but I don't know if Jinx had overheard that or not. So I was like, oh, she must have tracked them with the little firelight. Um, she could have looked it up in the phone book. I don't know. It doesn't matter now. But Jinx has the shimmers, or shimmered. She's been shimmered. It really sounds like something that happens to you when you eat raw meat. Her eye is purple, and I thoroughly believe the monster is loose. Like, the real monster of the story is Jinx Unleashed. Silco is not a great guy, not a monster. There's all these people that could be considered monsters on one side of a coin and the hero on the other. It's a two-faced situation, isn't it? Vi mentioned that she tries to protect Powder from monsters, and when a real monster showed up, she ran away. That is not what happened. If you take it in the literal sense, that when Vi acted out and she hit Powder after her friends and her father were killed because it was Powder's fault, that might have been a monster, but she didn't run away from her in that moment. She walked away because, I mean, she probably would have kept going. She's that angry. There's a lot of loss that just occurred. She walks away. She didn't run away. She would have faced that demon. She's bi. She always does. It's just incredibly unfair that she feels like she might be considered the monster. But if you think about, like, who's the monster, right? Vi is not. She's always tried to keep Powder safe. She was always looking out for her. That's why she wanted her to stay behind. Silco also not a monster. He loves and cares for Jinx. He wants her to survive, not really fully understanding those consequences, but like, he doesn't want to lose his person. That's his person. That's his daughter. That's who he loves. But Powder becoming Jinx? Maybe. I think Powder kind of became a little bit of a monster when her parents died because I went back and watched the first episode and just how she is seeing the enforcers. Like, those are her enemies. And kind of the same thing with the firelights, also her enemies, because they're attacking the Shimmer, which is essentially attacking Silco, her father. She never really hurts innocent people, like, with intention. Everybody that she's kind of killed, like I said, has been the enforcers, the firelights, not necessarily just anybody. So I would say that she never hurts innocent people, but those are also by her standards, not necessarily our standards. And Vi never abandoned her. Walking away to cool down is not abandonment. That doesn't mean she didn't feel abandoned, but that is not what abandonment is. And Vi never abandoned Jinx. None of the times that she's seen Jinx has she abandoned her. She's had to walk away because of other circumstances, or, she was knocked out, but she never ran away from her. Vi is incredibly hard on herself for the transformation that Jinx has had from Powder to Jinx. And I know she shoulders it all and she blames herself. But there's a little bit of personal responsibility, I think, that Jinx has. And, it doesn't help that Silco is her dad, and I'm sure that if Vander was her father, she wouldn't have grown up the same way. Either way, she was still making bombs before she became Jinx, full of nails. I even said, like, when she made that bomb and she was filling it with nails, I was like, geez. Like, I thought that that was a little much. And that wasn't even an enforcer, that was just somebody chasing her. I get that you have to defend yourself, but, she was already that little monster. That she was already there. And it took losing Vi to go almost full monster. So speaking of going full monster, Jinx was saved by Singed. I haven't seen one time that when the shimmer is used in heavy doses, it doesn't damage the person. Like, and I know, like, from the earlier times of Deckard and Vander, it, like, changed to their body. Like Silco's eye. And, like, I know Vi was saved by a little vial of it, but it was a very small amount. And thankfully she didn't seem to get addicted to it. But the ability for the shimmer to bring Jinx back to life essentially, and for her to be healed by it, I can only imagine the damage that it did to her body, because we see the damage that it does to Victor. Even though it makes him stronger, it's still occurring damage. And she's already so mentally fractured. I can't imagine that it fixes that. I can only guess how much worse that could possibly make that. Singed as Soko if he was prepared to lose her, and that could mean, like, period, deadzo. Like, we could try this and she could die. That could also mean that at the end of it, she's not going to be who she was, which Silco said let Powder die, become Jinx. That could also mean that she'll no longer be under his control, and not only just be a different person that he knows, but, like, that she'll no longer be in his life, period. The Jinx with Powder still in her is gone. That she's full blown monster. That innocent little girl that was in there is gone. She was reborn. And it was really weird through that whole transformation process how she kept seeing Caitlyn's face. And I know that that's not weird, but it is a little weird because she saw Vi actually, like, kill Powder. And I think that might actually be the moment in which Powder really dies. That's when she let go. And then, she keeps seeing Caitlyn's face mixed with Singe's face, and, like, they're being laughter, and I'm so scared that Jinx is going to do something to Kate. I'm actually really scared to find out how it's going to go. Savika had a visit from one of the Ken Barons, the stupid jaw guy. Thing drives me nuts. Just doesn't make any sense. And essentially, he was suggesting that Silco is dropping the ball. He's letting Jinx get away with shenanigans, and that he essentially has no spine and doesn't stand up to her. And that really bothers Savika, mostly because she had already pointed this out to Silco a few times, the trouble with Jinx. And Silco threatened her. Pretty much like, who? Who thinks we need to do something about Jinx? And, that's scary for Savika, but, like, she's been trying to say, like, hey, this is a problem for you, not just for the Undercity. I'm really liking Savika, which is, like, really interesting because, like, I couldn't even remember her name. And it's funny, I saw, I wrote this down because I was like, how do you pronounce her name? Savika. Yeah, I still have it. Like, but I forgot her name. And now I think she's a pretty cool character. I like that they're fleshing her out a little bit more and you're seeing more sides of her. And she's not just a person standing up to Vander or, being a henchman for Silco. Like, you're starting to see a more personal side to her. I actually think I read that she doesn't have, or she doesn't exist in the game, or, like, you can't play her in the game. I am an idiot. I watched Free Guy the other day, and I thought NPC meant non-person of consequence. So don't ask me about gaming terms, but that she's not a character you can actually play in the game, which I've also been told not to play the game. So I hear you. I know you guys wouldn't steer me wrong, so I will avoid it for now. It doesn't seem the information that I've collected that I should even try. I'm just saying. And I wasn't super motivated anyways. I just thought it might be cool to like, see it, but I've heard otherwise. So I'm listening to you. I will not be playing the game. So Mel and Mama Medarda. So first of all, wow. Um, when we are introduced to her mother when Mel is a child, you can kind of see that Mel, she's, I don't know if she's learned from like living in a family that fights wars, then maybe that's not something that she wants to do. But definitely how she's been displaying herself is that she knows she needs to be ready for it, but that's not her first course of action. Like she doesn't want to lead with violence. Believing in mercy and not immediately responding to violence is seen as a weakness. I think that that's a strength, personally. Her mother is very much the opposite. She actually inspires Jace's rage a little bit, and that's what like propels him, after the council meeting to go forge the hammer. Um, Mel obviously wants to avoid the fight, but like I said, she wants to be prepared, and maybe not just to deal with like the Undercity or Zon or those threats, but like obviously at some point somebody might try to come take the Hex Tech or take Hex Tech weapons because her mother mentioned it. And because her mother always leads with violence, maybe the people of Noxus you should be guarding yourself against. It would help to protect Piltover against that. Do I think that's going to happen? I wouldn't put it past her mother. And maybe we'll learn about that place and maybe we'll see more of those people. But definitely Mel knows that she needs to be prepared. Even if she doesn't want to go to war, she needs to be prepared for it. Echo and Heimerdinger, they had their chat, and I think that one, it's really interesting that that Heimerdinger goes through the Undercity, and he says that he was there to like offer his assistance, but like he really wasn't offering anyone assistance. He just really was observing what the Undercity looked like, and when he realized that like he wasn't even wanted there, he almost gave up because like I noticed on my edit that he's like unraveling a rope, like he was gonna take a boat, and I don't know if he took a boat to get there, but I don't know if he was like planning on like leaving. And then he sees Echo's hoverboard. I imagine him like experiencing the Undercity was a reality check, and that was devastating. And he has a good heart. He really does. He didn't want that for those people. And he also knows as a council member, he had it within his power to help prevent stuff like that. Um, so he bears some responsibility for it. He's got to help out Echo. And I was kind of like thinking, I was like, what if like Echo took Heimerdinger to the tree and like showed him like there is a good side and there are people that do need help that are willing to, take it. I wonder if that will inspire Heimerdinger to stay and help. Okay, so Vi and Jace. First of all, that fight scene, the whole sequence, all of it was stunning. It was gorgeous. Like the fact that it took kind of place in this dingy factory, and then we had like the beautiful lights from the gauntlets, and of course, the hammer shooting the hex blasts. And they're fighting the thugs who have the pink light up masks and everything. There was a lot of like um beauty to it, but there was a sadness because of where it was taking place. But Vi was fired up at the council meeting and pretty much was taken aback that they would even consider talking to Silco. And she knows that, like, there isn't a negotiation that they could really even have with Silco. And Jace wants to take the Vi way. Vi way. Jace wants to do what Vi wants to do, which is fight. He's done. He's done with inaction. He's done with having things happen to him. He wants to take charge and make sure he prevents whatever's going to happen again, which is why they go to the factory. And they go full ham. And like I said, it was beautiful. It was stunning. But then Jace kills a kid, and then he sees all these children working at this factory. And then it's not just, Silco twitching his mustache behind the scenes, like there's children that are working here. I would hope I would hope they're getting paid. I don't know if they are. Where are their parents? Are they orphans? Because that breaks my heart. I mean, I like try to think of like their age, and I don't know if something big happened where all these kids no longer have families, but I know definitely after the bridge, in episode one, like Vi and Powder and Clegger and Milo are orphans, and Vander took them in, and like, is that something that just happens? So it's just really interesting that he didn't defeat the monster he set out to. He killed the thugs, but when it came down to it, I don't think he realized that this is I. He killed the thugs, but there is no way he could have realized this is what he was going to find. And now he has to live with killing this kid, and I don't know where that's going to take us because Jace seems emotional in the sense that like it's not going to sit well with him, but at the same time he seemed very angry and fed up with everything else that was going on in Topside, that he might try to, I don't know, do more. But maybe it'll also open his eyes to the Undercity. Maybe he'll finally see, like a little piece of Victor in this. Okay, this one's going to be a little hard for me. Victor and Sky. Miss Young. I don't go looking to have love stories in everything that I watch, and sometimes I just want the stories presented without people falling in love. But I think because Victor seemed very lonely throughout this entire series, that for me, I would have liked for him to have somebody. He doesn't seek attention. I mean, that's why, like, when Jace invited him up on stage during Progress Day, he was like, "No, no, no, I'm good. I'll stay back." And maybe he was a little nervous because of his him being a cripple, but I also think he doesn't like it and he doesn't need it, and he avoids it. Um, but once he realizes Sky is gone, he's devastated, and I don't know if it's just because he killed his friend, but I was really hoping that like there was going to be something more there for him. Um, but I wonder where she went because, like, to me, the hex tech transports, right? Like it moves things from one spot to another, and I know that it looked like it obliterated her. And then there's dust, and then her clothing is left over. But like, what if she was just merely taken out of her physical body? What if because she was holding on to him, she joined with him, or maybe she just got obliterated? I don't know. I think I'm still trying to find a way that where she's not gone, and if she is, like, that's really sad. And I'm still like very sad for Victor because now he has to live with that. Him running made me happy. Like seeing him, not have to use his cane, and then like he was like full on running, and then he lets out that yell, and it's just very primal. And like that's something you don't get to see from Victor is him be primal. But what now? Because his leg looked really special after everything. And I know that the shimmer changes your body, like I said, like with like Deckard and Vander and now with Jinx, but like with him, it looks really special. I'm not sure if it's good special or bad special. Everything comes with a price. And, like he got a new leg. His girlfriend died. Jinx got new eyes. Vi's girlfriend might die. Like there's always consequences to actions. And yeah, him getting this new leg and then, you know, uh, Sky being killed, like, is that the only consequence he faces, or is he going to continue to face those consequences? And like this show always like lets us know that like with every like victory, there's also a non-victory that happens. What are the repercussions with Jace and the council? Because obviously him going to the Undercity and doing what he did at the factory isn't going to sit well with them. What are those repercussions? Is Kay okay, or is her time over? Will Silco be able to handle Jinx now? Like, is he going to be able to be in the same room with her? And are those two still going to have the bond and the relationship they always have? I don't think so. I think him actually saying that Powder needed to die so Jinx could live, I don't think he quite knew what that meant because people outgrow people all the time. And she might not need him anymore. And it breaks my heart for Silco because Silco genuinely loves her. Okay, I got through that without crying. I got really close. I don't know what to expect with this episode. I do know that they are not going to go out softly, gently. There's not going to be a happy ending. I can't imagine that there would be. Okay, guys. I'm somewhat stalling. I'm not ready. I'm not really excited to get into this. I'm not somebody who likes to say goodbye, and I certainly don't do it easily. And if I do, it's because I said peace out. You know, like Marcus. Later. All right, guys, we're gonna ask Vader, Magic 8 Ball Vader. Am I gonna be devastated at the end of this episode? No! I highly doubt it. I'm definitely going to be devastated. It's gonna happen. Y'all are expecting it too, which is so sick and twisted of you. How dare you? The monster you created. Cool. Cool, why not? I'm glad we're starting right where we left off.
You didn't have a choice. He knew what he was signing up for.
Did he?
Silco's still out there.
Do you not understand? I am part of this now.
You've always been a part of this. You just never had to look it in the eye. One dead kid? There's hundreds more where he came from, thanks to Silco and thanks to people like you who stuck their heads in the dirt.
This is over.
Not for me.
Take those off.
Oh god.
Make me.
Oh my god, I love her.
I can't let you leave with them.
Then I guess you're gonna need to kill another trencher.
I don't think this needs to happen. Oh. Vi would have whooped his ass. No doubt.
You won't make it alone.
She knows that's why she needed your help. Go get Kate. Oh god, Kate! Fuck. Forgot. I believe it's the last time I'm gonna watch that for a while.
Been a while since Topside's gotten this bold.
You gotta do anything about that piece of shit that murdered my boy. Let me guess. Jinx will take care of it.
Not an orphan.
Where is Jinx anyhow?
Help her with the body.
I hate that guy. He's the new Marcus for me. Focused on hating somebody else.
I couldn't forgive myself if I didn't try.
Is the leg too heavy for him? Oh, Victor. Oh, Victor. What? Did it just attack him?
Mel, would you like...
Leave.
Oh.
Stay away from Jace. Better yet, march back to your ship and get the hell out of my city.
Get hold of yourself. I taught you better.
No, you didn't. You literally taught her to act like this.
The man who killed your brother doesn't believe the score is settled. If there is a chance Hextech can be weaponized, we must have it.
Ah.
Can't believe you'd start a war just to cover your ass.
I would set the world ablaze to protect our family.
I stopped being part of this family the moment you cast me out. Why did you do it?
Because you weakened me. I couldn't endure the look in your eyes whenever I made the decisions to keep us safe.
Your daughter taught you humanity and it's a weakness? I think not.
Let the war unfold. Then you come home, take your place at my side.
Why would she want to do that?
It's where you belong.
It is not. She belongs in Piltover.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so she is just gone. No, 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 no. Not like Jace, not like Jace. Please let Jace show up. Please let Jace show up.
Am I
Oh,
interrupting?
thank God! Parallels.
You have to destroy it. I can't do it.
At least Victor knows it needs to be destroyed.
Promise me.
Okay. Okay. I promise.
We lost ourselves. Lost our dream in the pursuit of great. We failed to do good.
Oh boy.
You're with him, are you?
You screwed up, Silco.
Now I'm forced to share the air with parasites like you.
Savika better take them out and not Silco.
Today is the day you die, Silco.
That's a risk I've known all my life, but I still believe in Luarte.
Oh God, I hate that jaw. I love that she just cut that. Savika's moving up my list.
Were you tempted?
Not for a worm like him, but he won't be the last.
Talus? Okay, okay. Meeting. This will be interesting.
I was reminded recently of what brought us together in the first place. The threats beyond our walls.
This city has a short memory.
Progress. Free trade routes, blanket amnesty, unrestricted access to the Hexgate's sovereignty. You really think you're in a position to demand all this?
No.
Didn't think you had the stomach. But the big display followed by a request for parley. You're tipping your hand. You're afraid.
I am afraid.
Of what he can do.
Your people wouldn't stand a chance. I'm trying to save you from annihilation.
You want peace. This is the price.
You'll discontinue the production of Shimmer.
Half there already.
Return the gemstone. And I need Jinx. She has to pay for what she's done.
Ooh, you saw that look change.
Get me Jinx, and I'll give you your nation of Zon.
That's too hefty of a price for Silco. I think. Now I'm not so sure. Oh. Did he bring Harbinger to the tree? He did!
You say all this came about in your own brief lifespan? How were you able to accomplish so much so quickly?
You'd be surprised what you can pull off when your life depends on it. It's not enough to give people what they need to survive. You have to give them what they need to live.
I was hoping Heimerdinger would get to see that.
All we ever wanted. The boy didn't even haggle. And what do I lose but problems? Oh, it all makes sense now, brother.
He goes and he talks to Vander.
Is there anything so undoing as a daughter?
Oh, shit. Vi with the gauntlet. Oh, well, looks like Vi beating up a enforcer.
Everyone, out.
This'll be interesting. But now I like Savika, so I don't want anything to happen, I mean, bad to Savika. I'd rather it happen to Savika than Vi. God, a headbutt. Fuck, these bitches are hardcore. Oh, I like the skipping. She just yeeted a pool table at Savika. Why? Come on.
Well, your guard needs work.
She keeps blocking with her face.
I wish I could say it gets easier, kiddo, but I'd be lying. What I can say is, she still needs you.
I miss Vander.
So what do you say?
Oh, Tooth.
That's my girl.
Whoa. That's not dead.
Bravo, sis.
My recent unsanctioned activities in the underground have shown me two things. I'm not fit to govern the people who live there, and neither are you. They're right not to trust us.
You're walking a fine line, Jace.
With respect, I don't give a shit what any of you think of me anymore.
Good for him.
Except you. You were right. You were always right.
Jace has brokered a peace with Silco in exchange for the Undercity's independence.
Really thought I buried this place. Nothing ever stays dead.
Is Kate with her?
Silco thinks he made Jinx, but he didn't make Jinx. You did.
I never meant to leave you.
You never left. I always heard you. Shadows in the streets, prickles on the back of my neck. Your voice pushing me. You're the reason I'm still alive.
The only thing that kept me going was the thought of getting back to you.
Are we still sisters?
Nothing is ever going to change that.
I always knew you'd come back. We're missing someone.
Oh God, Kate. Oh God.
I paid your girlfriend a visit this morning. I made her a snack.
No!
Sheesh, I'm not that crazy.
I thought she was, though.
Make her go away. Send her on her way, and you can have Powder back.
That's not how that works.
No! Powder, listen. We can just go.
Where would we go? No. She's not saying that.
We'll put this behind us. You'll never have to see him again, Powder.
Her name is Jinx. Everyone betrays us, Jinx. They will never understand. You're my daughter. I'll never forsake you.
Where's Echo? Where's everybody else? Don't trust her. Oh my God.
Look out! Remember who you are. I know you remember. Picture Milo. Clagger. Vander.
Shut up! Don't listen to her!
Yes!
Did she just kill Silco?
No, I'm sorry.
I never would have given you to them. Not for anything. Don't cry. You're perfect.
Are you kidding?
I thought maybe you could love me like you used to. Even though I'm different. Here's to the new us.
We will show them all.
I support Councillor Talus's proposal for peace.
Oh God. I have some mixed feelings. So, I'm very much not happy that Silco's dead. Will Singe come and get his body, bring him back to life like he did Jinx? I don't know. Um, Mel, Jace, Victor, the rest of the counselors, Kate's mom. I don't know if they're going to make that out. I highly doubt it. I don't know how anyone survives that. I mean, maybe they already had some sort of hex tech protection that we didn't know about, but it's going to be full blown war. Which is like enter Mel's mom. And of course, God, I thought she had Kate's head on a platter. Oh my God, I was going to be fucking horrified if she picked it up and it was Kate's head. But then she, fires that projectile, the rocket, whatever the hell it is, at the counselors, and of course that's Kate's mom, and Kate knows what she's looking at when it's heading in that direction. Oof. I'm exhausted, and I didn't cry as much as I kind of expected to. Um, Definitely, there was a lot happening in this episode where there's parallels, like Victor kind of considering jumping off that ledge when Jace comes by and says, "Am I interrupting something?" And that is their relationship, saving each other's lives. Um, I really loved Mel standing up to her mother and kind of calling her out. And her mother having to come clean as to why they need the hex tech weapons. Which then just begs the question, now is Mel still alive, but is she or her mother going to use the hex tech weapons against somebody else? Whoever killed Mel's brother. I'm so exhausted. So immediately when Silco had his terms, I thought it was utter ridiculous. But he had to kind of make his offer so insane that it could only be negotiated down. And then Jace didn't even bother really negotiating it down. He just had his own stipulations. Um, the biggest one being that he wanted Jinx. I didn't know in that moment if Silco wanted Zon to be more of a thing than he wanted to have a daughter. And then when he's at the statue of Vander later on and is faced with the choice of picking his daughter or picking the thing that they had always worked for, that they had always wanted, the thing that they had fought for. And he even says that he would never have given her up. Actually, I don't think either one of them. I don't think Vi or Silco would have given her up. I think Vi meant every word she said. Let's get out of here. Let's start over. She would have given up everything just to have her sister back. And Jinx just wouldn't believe it. She didn't see it. She still thought that it was a lie. And she says, I just want you to love me like you used to. And that's the thing with getting older and growing and becoming a different person between you and everyone else around you is that you have to allow everyone else to change. But, there's adaptation. You have to learn to adapt to other people's changes and accept them. And it's hard, but I really think Vi would have accepted her. All the loose screws and all the kinked wires that is Jinx, like, she would have accepted her because she loves her sister. And Vi didn't create Jinx. Jinx created Jinx. Everything that she had gone through led up to where she is now. It's not one thing that Vi did. Like, Vi gave her all the love in the world and tried to protect her. And you're telling me that one singular moment was the thing that erased all the love that those two had between each other? I don't think so. That's not how sisterly love works. It's not how it works. I guess we should talk about some of the other things that happened. Of course, Jace and Vi having a little bit of a standoff at the beginning and him saying, you need to get back the gauntlets. And she's like, you can come take them from me. And she's ready to fight. That's who she is. Vi solves all of her problems with her fists. And it was the one thing that Vander said won't solve all your problems. And she keeps doing it time and time again. It's insanity. Like, maybe she needs to learn how to negotiate. I'm not upset about what's his jaw face, whatever. I'm not upset about losing him, but I do think that Savika showing her loyalty to Silco, it meant something. It meant something to Silco because he has said time and time again that they will betray us. They always betray us, and he's saying it to Jinx. And like, even if she did consider it, Savika has been very loyal to Silco. So I'm glad that she kind of made it out. That fight between her and Vi was just amazing. I mean, like they have a way of making it look brutal and gross and spitting out teeth and shooting snot rockets and you know like she yeeted a pool table at Savika. Like, and I don't know what that laser knife or whatever it is that Savika has, but that thing's pretty fucking cool. But she lost her arm. But I have no doubt that in season 2 she will be back, and that arm will be bigger, badder, better. And I'm really looking forward to it. I really like Savika. I really like her now. Not that I didn't like her, but I just thought she was a background character or another Marcus, and she's not. She's pretty dynamic. I dig it. Victor sobbing and crying, especially when he's reading Sky's notes. He tries to destroy the hex core and he can't. And then the hex core attacked him? Did it attack him? Like, I guess the title of the episode is The Monster You Created. That's Victor's monster that he created. Jace's monster he created was his weapons. The monster that was created of Jinx. I mean, you could say that Vi had a hand in it, Caitlyn had a hand in it, Milo, Klager, Vander, her parents, Silco, like they all had a hand in Jinx becoming Jinx, but like, she chose to walk out to that ledge and shoot that rocket. She's the one that chose that. She could have walked away, but she continues to make these choices. At some point you have to have self-responsibility and you have to be aware that like you are making choices. These are not being made for you. So, Jinx is the creator of her own monster. I also like that for, like probably a solid 30 seconds, we got Vander back. It was nice. It was like seeing an old friend. It'd be a very different show had he survived. Guess you could also look at Powder killing Milo, Klager, Vander, causing that explosion. That helped create Vi and the monster that she is inside, even though there's not much of a monster there, but like she's angry and she punches her way out of every situation and like her rage just continues and that's the monster that's inside of her. It's just this need to always fight. I do really love that we have like a couple moments where there's a little bit of, I don't even want to say levity, but there is, Mel standing up to her mother, but then also Echo and Heimerdinger. And I thought, I was like, it would be great if he took Heimerdinger to the tree and let him see that like there's hope, like there's good people in the Undercity, like there are people that like he can help. I think that makes Heimerdinger feel useful because he had done so much of just ignoring the people from the Undercity for such a long time, and not because maybe not, I don't know, maybe it's because he couldn't look at them or he forgot about them or he thought it wasn't his problem. And when you see him and Echo kind of, collaborating a little bit, working on inventions, I just think that like I said, like Echo could be a great leader, and I think that that's just going to help him. I don't know. I think I need to sit with this a little bit and then come back and add thoughts at a later time. I know that there's been a lot of recommendations of like clinical psychologists that have done videos where they've broken down episodes, and I really think that I would dig those. I think I'd be really, really interested to see what they have to say about a lot of the ins and outs and like the little things, like the little nuances, but especially how well animators captured certain things. I think because I have a feeling that a lot of research was done in order for these things to be portrayed the way that they were being portrayed. Um, it's just this show. It's so amazing. It's so beautiful. The animation that we saw, not only with Vi and Savika's fight, but then also with Powder when she's kind of like trying to decide, like, not necessarily who to kill, but like who to be, like if she wanted to be Jinx or she wanted to be Powder, and she's trying to listen to Vi, but she's also listening to Silco, and like that whole animation, it kind of reminded me a little bit of like Echo's uh animation, but like it was very Jinxy. It was her colors, it was her shapes, it was her vibe. Especially when she says like Milo's name and you see like Milo with the scratches, and then Klager's name and you see Klager with the scratches, and the same thing with Vander. I'm so brokenhearted that this is over, but I'm kind of glad that it's at an end. That way I can move on to the next story when it's available. And I know that that's not coming until next year, or like not even next year, like I think somebody said 2024, because I imagine it takes a really long time to put this stuff together. Some of us just think that it's like click, 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 and it's done. Not the case. Especially stuff like this, because like when you get to the end of it, you're just like, it's a masterpiece. Like they put together a masterpiece. And in so many different things. Animation, yes. The animation is beautiful and it displays different types of animation and different timing, and because it like will do slow motion animation and then it does quick time animation, and then the coloring and the movement and all of that, like it displays so much talent. And then you have the music that's behind it, not only the orchestral music, but then the music with the lyrics and how it fits, like that song. Oh, when she just when Jinx like has to walk away from Vi, like that, like they're just doing so well with the music and just, I mean, it's a masterpiece. The writing, the psychology that goes behind a lot of it, the parallels, and how they can plant something in one episode and bring it back in another, and like it's just like it's so complex and it's so beautiful that I think some people watching it like wouldn't really catch a lot of it, but like if you are honed in and you are tuned in, this is a masterpiece. I can only hope season two is the same thing or better because it set the bar. So you guys will have to tell me what else you want me to watch. I know I've gotten a couple suggestions of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, um, Invincible, I think is another one. Someone said Love and Robots or Love something in Robots. Um, I know the summer, like there's going to be a lot of my favorite shows dropping that I want to react to, so I might not be able to start an anime series, or if I do start one, it's not going to be where I'm trying to bang it out like Arcane, because like this was almost an addiction for me. A sad addiction because I'd watch it and then I'd be depressed and I'd have to watch a comedy afterwards, which I think I'm gonna go watch a couple episodes of Scrubs after this just to kind of bring back a little bit of joy. It's such a wonderful show. I just feel like it's abusive and it beats me up every time. Okay, guys, leave me a suggestion of what I should react to next down in the comments. And like, subscribe, um, do all the stuff that brings everyone here because the fans of Arcane and the fans of League of Legends of this show of certain characters, you guys are amazing. You're amazing. Like the little nuggets of wisdom that you guys give me, I just appreciate you so much, and it has been such a joy to go on this journey with you. And I mean, as you can tell, if you want to come back for messes all the time, I'm your gal. Funny little gal. All right, guys. We'll see ya.